Hello and welcome to our live coverage of the day's news agenda around London for the Capital's clubs. The Premier League season may have ended, but there is still plenty of football ahead of the summer's World Cup. Arsenal have confirmed Unai Emery to replace Arsene Wenger, while West Ham have confirmed the appointment of Manuel Pellegrini on a 3-year deal. Chelsea were victorious over Manchester United in the FA Cup final, but what of Antonio Conte's future? Elsewhere, West London rivals Fulham sealed promotion against Aston Villa in the Championship playoff final despite being reduced to 10 men after Tom Kearney's strike fired them back into the top division. We'll be bringing you all the updates from the capital here throughout the day, keeping on top of all of the latest transfer news and speculation around the Premier League. Follow all the latest updates below. Keep up to date with the latest news, features and exclusives from Football London via the free Football London app for iPhone and Android. Available to download from the App Store and Google Play. Lorenzo Pellegrini's price has went up since the start of the season according to reports from Italy. The 21-year-old's agent Giampiero Posetta will meet Monchi and other Roma bosses to discuss a possible contract renewal. That would of course mean a higher transfer fee again. Calciomercato state, Pellegrini's release clause has increased to €31 million from the €25 million clause that existed at the start of the season. The current release clause expires in July and a new deal will mean a release clause of a bigger sum. Image, TIZIANA Fabi, AFP, Getty Images. Another line on the future of Gareth Bale as the Daily Express write that Manchester United is the only destination for Bale. His representatives are expected to meet Real Chiefs in the near future, but the Red Devils might be priced out of the move. However, the meeting between Bale's agent and Los Blancos will ultimately decide whether the Welshman decides to force a move. Crystal Palace appear to still be in the market for a goalkeeper despite the expected signing of Vicente Guaita, and have been eyeing up Albin Lafonte. Get French Football News report that the Eagles lead the race for the Toulouse stopper with PSV also showing an interest. Lafonte is only 19 but has already racked up 98 League One appearances. One fan has a theory at why fans are getting so excited. According to Sky Sports, David Alaba has rubbished reports he wants to move to Barcelona or Real Madrid and claimed that quotes from his father were fabricated. An interview published in Spain suggested that Jorge Alaba claimed Real Madrid were interested in purchasing the Austrian, but the Bayern star says his father doesn't have any knowledge of giving the interview, according to Bild. While the smart money would be placed on Sarri if someone is to take over from Antonio Conte, it appears that Laurent Blanc has also been sounded out. According to France Football, via Sport Witness, Blues board member Marina Granovskaya met with the Frenchman to evaluate his candidacy. The ex-Manchester United manager has been without a job since leaving PSG 2 years ago. Blanc, during his time with PSG, Image, Thomas Sampson, AFP, Getty Images. What a difference a summer could make. The Napoli star's agent has had his say, but it doesn't sound like much is happening at the moment. I don't know if the negotiations between Napoli and City for Jorginho have moved forward. I'm not a part of that, so you'll have to ask Napoli. Chelsea are an important and interesting club, like Barcelona and Real Madrid, but they've never contacted me. I'll be in Italy this week. In the transfer market, things can mature in 15 hours or in 15 days. Jorginho vies for the ball with Jesse Lingard at Wembley. Image, Glenn Kirk, AFP, Getty Images. Tim Vickery told Sky Sports News. I enjoyed watching him on the way up at international. He's a busy little left-footed midfielder. Very dynamic, and he's got some quality. He's developing as well. I could understand City's interest. When they played Shakhtar in the Champions League, Pep Guardiola was very impressed with him. You could see Fred fitting into a dynamic Man City midfield. He's almost like a smaller left-footed version of Fernandinho. There are doubts over whether PSG can afford the £127 million outlay to make Kylian Mbappe's move from Monaco permanent due to financial fair play starting to bite the Parisian club. Manchester are ready to compete if that move falls through and are more interested in the French international than Neymar, according to the Men. Image, Frank Fife, AFP, Getty Images, 1622 Spurs or Arsenal? That could be the question for Bordeaux's Brazilian midfielder Malcolm this summer. Raphael Ducoban Forget French Football News has taken a look at why Spurs could be the better proposition and gives an insight about what kind of prospect the youngster is. He has already started learning English, so a Premier League move could make sense. Malcolm in training for Bordeaux 1553. The Independent believe that Gareth Bale would be prepared to compromise financially to help him move to Tottenham. They suggest that Spurs would be willing to offer £200,000 per week with bonuses, a deal similar to that of Harry Kane. It is thought he currently gets £200,000 in hand at Madrid, but other deals involved with a club mean he earns more than £500,000. Gareth Bale celebrates scoring his side's second goal during the UEFA Champions League final between Real Madrid and Liverpool at NSC Olimpiski Stadium on May 26, 2018 in Kiev, Ukraine. Photo by Michael Regan, Getty Images, 1515 Progress on Sarri taking over from Antonio Conte at Chelsea seems to have slowed, or at the very least went a little quiet over the last couple of days. Our Chelsea correspondent Oliver Harbord has taken a look at why it might not have happened yet. Though it seems plenty of fans would prefer Conte to stay, Maurizio Sarri. Photo by Francesco Pecoraro, Getty Images, 1508 but it might just be on loan. Shahid Khan has said, a ridiculous fee would be needed to prize the 18-year-old away, but worst case scenario would that he was loaned back to the club as they return to the Premier League. Read the full story below. 1436 Given his tough outing at PSG, this is a fascinating read about the work Emery actually did there. Mbappe seems to have enjoyed working with him. Kylian Mbappe in action for PSG. Image, Valerie Hache, AFP, Getty Images, 1430 Jody Morris holds the FA Youth Cup trophy after beating Arsenal. Image, Justin Setterfield, Getty Images, 1422 Arsenal are targeting Juventus defender Mehdi Benatia and will face competition from Marseille according to Le Ten Sport. The Morocco international completed a permanent switch to the Italian club last summer after a season on loan from Bayern, but it appears now the Serie A champions are looking for a new generation of defenders. It would take about £20 million from the Gunners to land the 31-year-old. 1416 Corriere della Sera report that the Serie A champions have offered Gonzalo Higuain for the services of the Inter striker. Not only that, but the Turin side would be willing to put in another £43 million to land the player. It is believed the forward has a release clause of £96 million for clubs outside of Serie A, but that isn't stopping the old lady from trying to tempt Inter. Earlier reports in Italy have suggested that Juve are likely to sell Higuain a compatriot Paulo Dybala. Mauro Icardi celebrates scoring for Inter. Photo by Paolo Rattini, Getty Images, 1353 Football Whispers rate potential moves out of 5 based on the likelihood by assessing volume of whispers, authority of sources and recency of whisper. The top 5 right now are Pepe Reina to Milan 4.9, Wayne Rooney to DC United 4.8, Stefan de Vrij to Inter Milan 4.7, Santi Cazorla to Villarreal 4.6, Ki Sung-yueng to Milan 4.413, 31. According to the Daily Express, a move by Manchester United for Fred is close. They report that the club have already agreed a £53 million deal with Shakhtar Donetsk and are close to sorting personal terms. Jose Mourinho wants the deal done before the Brazilian leaves the UK next week. The midfielder is currently training at Tottenham's base with Brazil national team and will travel to the northwest later this week ahead of the side's fixture with Croatia at Anfield on Sunday. Shakhtar's Fred has flourished under Paulo Fonseca. Image, Kenzo Triboulillard, AFP, Getty Images. 1301 Arsenal had a coaching clear-out following the departure of Arsene Wenger and it looks as though Unai Emery has started putting his team together. 1246 Roma's sporting director Munchie has had his say on a potential transfer for goalkeeper Alisson. The Brazilian stopper has been linked to Liverpool, but it doesn't sound like anyone is very far through the process of buying the keeper, Munchie said. In order for a player to leave, there have to be 3 elements in place: an offer, a yes from the club and from the player. As of today, we have nothing of the sort. We are happy to keep him. Transfer rumors are normal at this stage. Alisson could be a target for Real Madrid and Liverpool. Photo by Filippo Monteforte. AFP, Getty Images. 1237 Argentina international and PSG midfielder Angel Di Maria has offered his services to Diego Simeone and Atletico Madrid as he looks to engineer a move. As believed, the 30-year-old has contacted Simeone multiple times as the former Real Madrid star tries to take advantage of the coach's appreciation. However, nobody within the Madrid camp has admitted interest. Image, Thomas Sampson, AFP, Getty Images. 1228 Chelsea players celebrate the FA Cup win. Photo by Lawrence Griffiths, Getty Images. 1224 Marlon is a reported transfer target for West Ham. Image, Jan Coatsaliou, AFP, Getty Images. 1216 Phil Foden will not leave Manchester City on loan this summer according to The Times. The City Academy product has just turned 18 and has proved himself to be one of the most promising youngsters of England's youth teams. Paul Hurst writes that the club will sit down to discuss a new deal for the midfielder that should see him extend his current contract until 2023, and an improved wage from his current £20,000 per week deal. 1206 According to reports in Italy, AC Milan have had numerous bids turned down for Moussa Dembélé. The Belgian has just a year left on his contract and seems unlikely to renew his deal despite being a favourite of Mauricio Pochettino. There have also been reports that new Napoli boss Carlo Ancelotti met with the player's agent to discuss a potential move. Eric Dier and Moussa Dembélé. 1143 There have been a number of murmurs that Arsenal are close to completing signings, but Liverpool bagging Fabinho last night has certainly angered a few Gunners fans. They're desperate for a defensive midfielder. Arsenal have been linked with Monaco star Fabinho.